Yes.
Yeah.
The at the health department did, yeah. So I thought I would show a couple pictures of it. Okay. I look at something different.
What charges do we have for the city to use our fuel center? Is it just meant as a cooperative?
0.005 is what we were charging. We have updated that, and that's part of the new MOU, which they approved earlier this week. So,
Because as I'm looking at that, it seems fair
Mhm.
and such, but it says we're responsible for blending and we're responsible. We do carry potential liability if we get some bad gas or some.
exactly. And the insurance, the software, all of that is part of it, and that's what to offset that. But if you remember when this was put in place back in 11, it's because they're a taxing entity as well. So we want to try to be mindful of that.
Well, sure.
But that's
Because ultimately taxpayers are paying for both.
Correct.
You might say. Correct.
Yeah.
And Janelle, you know better than I do, but thank God, that fuel, there's a shrinkage.
Yes.
You put 100 gallons in, you're never going to pump 100 gallons out.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's why we did increase that administrative fee a little bit, because there's also time that Shiloh has in the process to do the programming, to purchase the programs that are used, and it's tracked. So, there's a lot of pieces to it. So
Well, and I think, so if they're aware of that too,
they are, yes.
to keep mindful of the fact that of course, that's something we all work together and not against each other.
Right.
Do you want to give a comment before we get started? I don't, unless you want to wait till 11, you can do the public comment.
Yeah,
You can wait for 11 or now. Go ahead. Go ahead, man. Come on up.
I just kind of wanted to status on the leash law. If we've had time to get it.
Well, yeah, I'll be honest with you. Ain't nothing in this place will move that fast. But
I like to read you down.
go ahead. Sorry. I did look that up. And that leash law that you was reading is an obsolete leash law. It's the old one. It's been revised.
Okay, well, the county sheriff has advised his deputies not to pick up any animals, not to, the officers, off of 6 reports with the Dickinson County Sheriff's Department. They said they can't do anything. They said there's nothing they can do. The dog, pretty much with the way the resolution is written, that the dog, pretty much the way it reads is they almost have to bite me. In order for them to do something, they literally instructed me that I have no obligation but to protect myself, my family, and my livestock. To do what I need to do. Of course, we all know I did, and that's where I was just at.
Yeah.
Right. For my right.
I'm going to answer this the correct way. We need to visit with the county attorney is prosecuting. We need to have a conversation with Brock, a conversation with Jerry. And then we need to,
County councilors also.
county council needs to be involved. It's going to take us more than a week to get that done. I do know that based on the conversation I had with Janelle this morning, this is something we're going to be talking about very soon.
Okay.
And then we should be able to bring that to a commission meeting at a later time.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it takes longer than a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It'll take a month or so to work through some stuff.
You know
how government is, man.
I just want to, trying to railroad me a little here.
No, I'm not trying to railroad you at
No,
all.
not you guys. No, I'm fully thankful for what you guys do. I've been on board.
The first thing we got to do is make sure it's something we can legally do, which I do think we can, but we got to, how it works.
Correct.
I don't want to speak for the commission
here. As what I read, the way the resolution is written now, the owner should have been fined. If I'm correct, if that's the way I read the resolution. if the resolution is correct, what's in place now, if the dog leaves out of control off its property, then that's a dog at large. And then they should be fined. That's what I believe. That's the way I read it. I don't know if is that correct?
That's the 2023 resolution, and I glanced at it. I need to read it again in depth. It's been a little bit,
Yeah.
but we did make some updates to that when it came to the county picking up stray dogs and working with the Abilene Animal Hospital to house them. So that's where the change came about. So that's part of our discussion that will take place very shortly. Next week is where we'll be doing that. So.
Okay. I appreciate it, really do. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks for coming back in. Thanks, guys.
I do have a meeting set up, so.
Told you that.
Oh, well, that's fine to hear it now, so.
We have a discussion on property in Harrington.
Yes, yeah,
I have some reservations about that.
about deeding it. Okay,
First off, I looked to see who the owners were near and around that property.
right,
One owner. Owned
Right.
all that property except that one little piece.
right.
And that particular person on that one little piece also is on that land board. I find that's a conflict.
Oh, he's on the board, the land bank board.
I didn't know if you guys looked into it, but I did.
Okay,
No.
And is it business wise, is it a good thing to get rid of? Absolutely. It costs as
absolutely.
morally, ethically and all that stuff. Can
We,
you look into that?
so we tried to sell it. We tried to sell it when this first came about and
Do it.
couldn't do it. Nobody was interested in purchasing it. So, I mean,
I know, but that's why I wanted to talk now about it.
mhm. You can pull that from the agenda if you like.
I want
And
to be efficient and effective, but I want to do the right thing.
Right.
You know, that's one of those kind of awkward things. I don't want to, in an unfair way where he has an advantage that others do not have. But then the other part of it is it would go on the tax roll. And it would be fractional if it's just an empty lot. And then plus basically taxpayers are going to pay for the maintenance and cleanup. You know, so even though it is a red flag and maybe not a good practice, we might be penalizing ourselves more than also, you know, I mean, it's, and I wouldn't sense that since it's a property that is in that situation that there's going to be, you know, financial gain. I mean, like if there was something where it was going to be a commercial property and all of a sudden, you know, someone else was ready to buy it, or the real estate people had 2 or 3 people interested, all of a sudden it's somehow that where it's, I mean, I understand your point, and I'm just wondering if it's, you know, sometimes it's like one of those pieces of paper you're looking at, I need to do this, I don't know if I want to do it, it's there, and you sit there and think, why don't I just do it or just throw it away and get it off the table?
So why did
But
they
the land bank thing too, I mean, I don't know that has flaws to it too. I mean, I know people want that for all the properties we have, the land bank, and I don't know that I don't want to go that route.
How come we held it this long? Why did this just come up?
because Thatcher Modi, the former city manager, asked about acquiring it for the land bank.
Okay.
We've just been maintaining it. We've been chemically treating it over the years to take care of the weeds and stuff on it. So,
A number of years back.
yes, yeah. Yeah. So,
That's why I wanted to
No,
discuss.
absolutely.
No, I mean, I think that's a good point to bring up, because then we might have a similar situation come up again. So what's our?
Mhm.
But I mean, what is the value of the property? I mean, it's not even you can't build on it. It's not.
It is valued at, yeah, you can't build on it because of the way it's
size.
setting
Or not.
and the size. It is valued at. Where's my value?
If we're done with that, I do want to go to the budget. So,
Well, we can get back to that too. Well, was that on the?
no, that's on our agenda. Yeah, so
Let me look at my notes
I
on it.
don't mind having a discussion meeting, but,
So we're starting with the county commission budget, actually.
yep.
It is.
Do we want to, we didn't travel much.
No, you did not. It's appraised at $4,180. So I'm sorry. I just found it, so. Okay. So no, you did not. So Marcus left the numbers in there from the previous year, so obviously salaries and benefits, you don't have a lot in your budget outside of that, so.
Any thoughts, commissioners, on what you guys want to do here, or if anything, or not change anything, or keep it the same, or what do you guys, kind of thoughts do you guys have? If any.
We all do know everything goes up, that's for sure. So what we did last year probably gonna cost us more this year. I mean, I'm not trying to be genius, but it's the way everything seemed to look. So that's the only comment I'm gonna make.
Well, it shows less than a 4% increase.
Actually reduced this, I believe.
From the prior year.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I had 92 on it. Oh, I was in the wrong column. Okay.
Budgeted, but if you take that 9 out, you only spend, yeah. So that's where your difference is. And then I know we took a pay cut last year to coincide with some of the cuts we did. Is it appropriate to coma our pay, or should we keep it the same? I think that's really the only discussion we need to have. I don't know what you guys think, but I really don't have a stake in this, and whether I'm not relying on this job to pay my bills, I guess, let me say it that way.
I have a house payment, so.
I get you. I get it.
There's, it's always difficult to know what some of the other counties are doing and what their situation is, but from what I gather, we're significantly lower, or we're lower pretty much across the board with all counties. I'm sure there's one or two that pay less than we do, but
Right.
some, it wouldn't surprise me if there's 30 or 40 that are paying almost double
Yes.
what we have. And I'm not lobbying for that, but I don't think people do this for the money. But and again, there is a time investment, so I don't know.
I guess I
I think it's pretty good where it's at. Reasonable.
okay. The only thought I had is if we did want to give ourselves a raise, we don't need to pull more general. We can just pull from travel since we didn't use it.
So I would suggest reducing that 9 down to maybe 5 with
That's my
the
thought.
AC conference, because I know some of you attend that. And then also you've got some mileage reimbursement that comes out of there as well, when you are attending some of the meetings. So 5 seems to be a reasonable number on that. And it was up before because you had the previous commissions had attended national conference.
Well, and the other thing I think on the salary, or what the pay is. I remember this came up on the city and it's come up with other groups where there'd be no change, no change, no change.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, you try to catch up in 1 year, what, over the last, 5 years or 8 years, and that kind of gives quite a hit. So if it's just gradually stepped up, even if it's only a couple percent,
Well, and traditionally, that's what
It keeps
happened.
the
It's
trend.
been,
it keeps the trend upward.
right. So, and if we follow our compensation policy, at least on the employee side, the plan management is the CPI. So, and that number changes regularly, so we're working on that, but, that's something that we can consider as well, or leave it the same.
When we look into this, it's obviously we're asking the folks out there a lot. They're getting taxed pretty good and kind of complaining about it, to be honest with you. But we're spending a lot of money on paper.
Yes.
Brought that up here some time ago, and that costs us a lot of money to print all this. My desk is that full of paper, you guys.
Right.
Can we limit the amount? Because that costs a lot. That paper's expensive.
I'll have Dustin get us some prices on iPads for the three of you to have.
But I'm looking at trying to create a savings, not an expense.
Right. But getting the information up to you where you can see it and study it. I mean, yes, it's emailed to you, but having something in front of you during the commission meeting, I think is important. So we may have a little bit of upfront expense, but then that should taper off. And we might have services available already, honestly.
Okay.
Because during COVID, remember, we purchased several for staff to use. So we'll look into that and see what that looks like.
There you go. 3% coma we'd raise it $1,600 basically. Do a coma if you guys want to. Like I said, I
think that's reasonable.
I think it is too.
Just checks it off.
So 3%, I would, once we'll have to vote, obviously, I would suggest we raise the wage to $56,650.
And then reduce the travel.
Yeah, I think we don't increase at all. In fact, we'll still have a cut out of this expense, but maybe we use some of that cut to buy if we got to buy something.
Sure.
For the iPad. I guess reasonable. Sounds like we somewhat agree. Next topic.
See, it's gonna be easy, Joe.
No, I'm ready. I'm fine. Get it out of the way.
Anything else there, Commissioner? Okay, thanks. Jennifer's turn.
Put your seatbelts on.
All right.
Ooh.
Yes.
I think we kind of set the tone,
I know.
Put something away and added something and.
I'm starting with my clerk budget because I have clerk in elections, so if you want to get that in front of you.
That's fine, you clerk.
So I have control over about $15,500 in my budget for clerk. In equipment maintenance, last year I had 2,000. I want to bring it down to 1,500. Which you should have in front of you. Dues and memberships. Last year I had 900. I'm going to bring it down to 700.
Quick question.
Yeah. Do you not want to hear that?
No, I do. You bought new machines and stuff.
Mhm.
Or
That's
I don't
my
want you to go
election
over
fund.
budget either.
No, my elections.
Okay, Yeah,
I
sorry.
don't really have contracts too much in the clerk side, so I'm just going to reduce that
Okay,
based on years of before that I've seen.
just want to make sure. I don't want you to go over.
Advertising is going to stay the same. I have no choice on that. I have to advertise certain publications every year. So I don't want to, like you said, go over. So let's keep that where it's at. Contracts and services. I'm removing that line because like I said, I don't really have contracts and services for the court side. Travel and training was at 3,500. It's gonna at 4,500 this year. Just never know where you're gonna have to be for training, so I want to keep that healthy so I can be able to go to classes if I need to. Telephone and internet, I had it at 3. It needs to go up to 5 because we're already sitting at when this was taken, 220, and we're not even halfway through the year. And I'm guessing because I added a phone tree, when they call, and they have to pick up where they want to go throughout the county to eliminate getting all the county calls for the whole county. So that's the only thing I can think of why the telephone costs went up. Office supplies, it was 3,600 last year. I'm going to request 4,000 this year, only because I'm gonna remove 2 funds. I'm gonna get rid of my parts and supplies and miscellaneous expenses, so we can just kind of see where it's all coming out for office supplies. So if you see parts and supplies, I'm eliminating that $1,100 just to 0. And then miscellaneous expense is at 500. I'm gonna make that to 0.
So the net on all 3 of those, you're actually lowering.
Yeah. So my 2026 budget was 15,500. I'm lowering it down to 12,700 for 2027, which is about an 18% decrease. Any questions on the first side?
Overall, your estimated would be higher either, so.
Okay.
Even with payroll, it's I think.
Now we're going to move on to elections. Next year, elections is city school again. It's not as high of a cost as a normal, like this year election, we have a lot more going on. So you're gonna see that. So odd years are gonna be kind of lower than even years. It's just how it is, how we can save, but then we kind of make up for it for next year when we're earning more money. Advertising and publication, 2025 or 2026, excuse me, we're at 5,000. I'm just going to keep that the same. Then back down to election workers, 2026 was 20,000. I'm going to lower that down to 15 for 27. Contracts and services is at 51,500. I'll lower it down to 50 even. We've been told that to go ahead and expect our Elvis, which is our software that we use for our voter rolls, to quadruple our yearly fees. So they said just to kind of put that in the 2027 budgets, and I already talked to Marcus about that. So it could be 20,000 because right now we pay 4,900 a year. Travel training at 1,000, can only leave it there. Office supplies just at 3,000. I want to increase it to 3,500, which again, I'm going to get rid of my miscellaneous expense line. Meals, 200 to 300.
Sorry. Did the state increase their costs?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Also, something else to look out for, and I mentioned before, Elvis will need to be replaced. So it's going to get replaced in 2028. They're expecting it to be anywhere between 8 and 12 million. The state at this time does not even have a down deposit for that, so it's going to be put on the counties to pay for it. So they just want to fix that
We don't have
back
to
for
worry
money.
about it.
Well, it'd be split over 105, but still.
Yeah. Just something to keep in the back of your mind for 28. I don't know, about 27 it won't affect yet, but 28. Okay, I was on miscellaneous expense, it's at 700. We're gonna bring that down to 0, remove that fund. And then election ballot materials was at 50 for 26, gonna bring it down to 30. So overall, it was at 140,900 for the 26. And then for 27, it will be 114,300, a difference of 26,600. So another 18% decrease. So overall, like between the two funds, I'm lowering 36%.
But and then the next year, you'll have another election.
Yeah. It will fix for that.
Yeah.
Hopefully it can stay steady.
So these items that run, the state's requesting that you do more expense. How come, why don't we separate them and say state? So they know that's not coming to the county, that's state stuff.
Well, I mean, we certainly could add, change the language on that.
Yeah.
Because, but that's one of those statutorily mandated services that we are tasked to do as an arm of the state. So it's still a cost to us.
Right,
Regardless.
but it's not our doings right here.
Right, right.
It's coming from up there,
Right.
and they're not accountable for the money. I'm sorry.
Unfunded mandate.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
We can
all those-
certainly change some language on that.
Whole election department is a state, or a state.
Yeah.
I just think about the Kansas City Chiefs whenever we talk about the state. You
Oh, you don't have seats yet?
know?
Did you guys have any questions for me?
I don't.
Thank you.
I really tried to go through it.
You did a good
job. Thank you.
You're great.
And I appreciate,
And then the things, I've already been changing.
and I think this reflects some of the efficiency you're looking for at the office.
100%.
Gives good value to the customer, the taxpayers.
Okay, so that's everything for me.
Thank you.
Yep.
Come around.
I can call them up here. Because I haven't seen anybody from OCCK yet. Or if you wanted to discuss the MOU further, are you good with that?
Kind of talk about it.
Okay.
That's just for the fuel, right?
Yeah.
The Chiefs have shirts on sale. Shirts on sale now that say Chiefs, KCMO.
Just jamming.
Has the state of Missouri on there.
$1 billion football team. We got. Programs.
Yeah, point one thing. But anyway, we gotta.
I'm sorry.
Ridiculous shirt with an outline of Missouri on it. They're at clearance prices now.
Hopefully we can use some of those proceeds to pay for the Elvis system.
Elvis and Orion and covers. There's
Interstate,
pretty
that money
major,
runs out.
three pretty major programs that are going to be updated.
I'm gonna be quiet.
Hey, you want to come on up and do your budget? All right, thanks.
In Dickinson County, we've been hit pretty hard with this communication, our computer stuff, pharmacy in Harrington, for example, we wiped out as far as its computers stuff.
Oh, really?
So folks that are needing medications are gonna have a heck of a time. They gotta call the doctor and it's gonna be all done over like that. That's a big deal for folks out in the country.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
That I'm just thankful that we have what we have here protecting that system. Because if we ever went down,
Right.
I don't know what you guys would do.
That's why some of the programs and the purchases that we've had for the IT infrastructure, that's what they focus on constantly. And some of the purchases that we've had is to be aware of that and protect us. Hello. CCK is here.
Okay. You come in first.
You guys all mind signing in before you sit down? Please, thank you.
I'll have you guys hit the ground running. We're ready for you whenever you're ready, but you can take a minute.
It's fine.
Just gonna put you on the spot.
We can share.
Okay,
Yeah, that's one. We can share.
okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How you just want?
I'm good. How about yourself?
A few new faces.
I've got some more people with me. Yes. Yes. So let me talk about them. I have Jenny Richardson, of course, here. She's usually with me in Dickinson County. And then directly behind her, Kendra Career. Kendra is Vice President of Rural Services and Outreach. His name's Greg. She usually comes with me. She's Communication Expansion VP, and then right here is our new CFO at OCCK. So Pat retires, and he'd been there for 30-some years. And Mark joined us this year. So anyway, good morning. It's nice to be here.
Good morning.
We've had a really busy year in Dickinson County. I think on the left-hand side of your packet, I think, our numbers are related to Dickinson County. And we served about 500 more people answered calls than the year before. So all across, I think that's the message for all of North Central Kansas. We served about 1,200 more people in total at OCCK in last year than the year before. So need continues to increase. And we try to figure out how to be more efficient, how to do more with less, how we bridge those gaps for people. And of course, then federally and on a state level, you know, hard times, it's all the talk of fraud. And, you know, it's been my experience that most people don't cheat, but we're going to have to go through waves of proving what we do, which takes lots of manpower. So I think the next few years are going to be really difficult for people, and I hope communities, as they always do, will pull together and figure out ways to just keep moving forward. So we've had, keep building expertise. We finally, I told you last year we were going to have a transfer of a van that was equipped with assistive technology, and that we bringing it around, and it took months to get it because we had to rebuild it. We bought just a regular high-rise van, and so then we had to do a lift in there, and then we had to do all the generators and all the weird stuff it takes to do assistive technology. So it's done now, and it's at OCCK, and probably had some hail damage a couple weeks ago because everything else did at OCCK. So anyway, we will be bringing that around this summer to communities, just let people come and see. It's designed to go to people's homes and show them what's possible with technology to keep people more independent. So everything we do has a specialty area, and it's towards independence. So whether it's an occupational therapist that's looking at my home to make it accessible, or whether it's services in any way, everything is about keeping people in their communities so that they're taxpayers. And of course, we all want to live in our communities, and we all want to be independent, and that is universal for sure. So we see that as our mission. I did not ask for an increase this year. It's a scary time, but I know it's really difficult for counties too. Everything's happening to you as it's happening to us. And so, but I didn't ask for anything this year. We appreciate for sure this partnership. It's a long-term partnership, and we just continue to meet our community's needs. You do too. So that's a beautiful thing, I think. So be glad to answer questions. Jenny's going to present some information next. So I'll put it to her.
Where's the budget at right now?
110, yes, 110 if memory serves, yes.
Nothing was in the folder, and I got picked for you. You guys goodies to listen to me.
Bribery.
You always use a pen.
Of course, and pin on it. Well, you give a green.
Yes,
All right.
thank you very
There
much.
you go. All right, so thank you for having me again. This is my 10th year, so goodies for the 10th year. We get come, let's talk to you guys. So I first want to thank you for your continued support every year to help OCCK. We continue spreading our wings throughout Dickinson County. It is because of you and your support we are able to serve throughout all the rural Dickinson County. Brain injury, in my home, nurses, case management, transportation, infant toddler, PT, OT, and of course HCBS, and many other services currently provided in Dickinson County. OCCK is touching 4 corners. Looking at the map I provided you, it's actually 6, and all between. It is our mission to break down the barriers for all Dickinson County and provide them with all accesses to their personal and healthcare needs. So last year I took you on a trip around Dickinson County and told you my stories. This year I wanted to reflect different on how you help us support impact with Dickinson County. So here we go. In the last year, Cedar Street has grown. It is RSS, Resource Support and Services. OCCK has been the location since 2010. Neighbor to Neighbor and Hope Center, they just relocated there in the last year. So with this, we have created a circle together. We are always looking to strive in the future for more events. We strive to fit the puzzle, as you see on the map. little puzzle piece we put in the middle. Together, we have helped over 30 people in the last 6 months. Together, our mission is our rural county strong. We are ready to strive and to meet whatever needs come our way. We donate hygiene supplies, shelter resources, food, gas, and much, much more. We just hit the spots. Some people just have a bad day, and OSSK is there to get them up. So also, let's talk about Cedar, what we're doing in our office. For the last 15 years, I have been saying Suite 221. So now I can say we have the whole floor. So with that, we have 4 spacious conference rooms that we access. Like anybody from the community can call, and they can use our conference rooms, which people have been doing that. We have our transportation administrative specialist in the house. Her name is Morgan Thaxton. So now you can come over and buy bus passes and walk right upstairs and get them. And currently we are providing free transportation to the Monday night meals here in town. It's all free. They just got to pick up the phone, call us. So, and then with another space, we have other rooms we occupy with that. We're going to be bringing in presenters to provide education for the community, as well as services and resources for kids, adults of all ages. So that's going to be great to have up there. Currently, we have community-based housing all over town. We support many in their homes. We do many rural as well. 9 times out of 10, the first question they ask us is, how can I stay in my home? And that is what we ensure we are going to have them do, stay in their homes. We all want to stay in our homes. So now it's time to tell you what we did last year. This last year in Dickinson County, we provided 488 just information referrals from big and small. I actually had a list and I forgot to bring that up for you guys, but and for the durable medical equipment that people donate back to us, 46 families donated to us. We donated right back into the community. Dickinson County Transition Coalition has now been 8 years. This last year, we had 2 job fairs, 2 resource fairs, which we had 15 plus employers, over 150 students. 20 students obtained jobs at these fairs. 30 students have followed up with employers, and 22 students have signed up to volunteer for the Old Abilene Town. And we've got lots of feedback from the community how amazing these resources are. It's the dump knows or the getting the jobs. So let's talk about the day at my office, our office, OSSK's office. So we all know the same stop, drop, and roll. Well, ours is stop, drop, and go. It is something that OSSK prepares ourselves for every day. When we come into work, we never know. We have our plans, but when that phone rings, we stop, drop, and go. It could be a ride, it could be a crisis, it could be someone locked in their car, which we have helped. Whatever it is, OSSK takes that call to help the community. If we don't have the resources, we help find them. So on this day, we did just that. OSSK received a frantic call. It was about 4:15 p.m. on a Friday. Most people ain't even in offices at 4 p.m. on a Friday. We took that call from it was Memorial Hospital from a nurse. The lady stated that she was isolated and was not able to leave her home. From this lady that was needing the help, was not able to leave her home for many reasons. She did not have access to health care or transportation, but she needed help. The nurse stated she was having an anxiety attack and needed to get to the hospital. Dickinson County EMS could not transport her due to their equipment was not met for her needs. The nurse stated that OSSK was the last option before having to go into her home. This also stated we need to act fast if possible. So OSSK was able to build a team in a very short time, transport the lady to the hospital, get the medical attention she needed, and we ensured there was a plan for returning home when released. This one scary moment opened so many doors for this lady in Dickinson County, as we also are able to provide services to the hospital as well as strengthen our partnership together. Now this lady is integrated into the community, receiving rides from transportation and has home health services in her home because of that one phone call. And Dickinson County together with the team. So on your paper, if you flip to the back, I would like to tell you guys a story about Titus. Titus works for the Recycle Center. Titus began working at Recycle Center in 2001. He is extremely detail-oriented and prefers to do things on his own. No exceptions. When he started, we realized we needed to carve a job out for him. It became obvious that he was not able to do some tasks. Titus has a passion of pop tabs, especially the colored ones. This task turned out to be a perfect fit for him. Titus removes every single pop tab from the cans that come to the center. He collects them in 5-gallon buckets, as you see in the picture. saving them until it's time for the special day to run McDonald House, where these tabs go into help save lives. We're going to be going there soon. We've had a couple of dates, but Dickinson County will be recognized for bringing so many tabs. And I'll tell you why. For the past 5 years, Dickinson County or Titus has managed to collect roughly 300 pounds or more of pop tabs. Considering it takes about 1,267 tabs to make up just 1 pound. That means he's gathered an estimate of 450,000 tabs in total. To put his in perspective, a single pound of tab provides a child with 5 minutes of free dialysis. Titus, thanks to Titus' dedication, his efforts provide approximately 7,500 free minutes of dialysis to patients at Ronald McDonald House. Titus's work is not only impressive, but it's truly impactful. So all those containers you see is full of pop tabs. So he loves his pop tabs. Today I want to end by sharing our partnerships. As we grow and spread our wings more and more, OSSK's mission is to touch as many people as possible, to help them overcome barriers, provide training, accomplish goals, and maintain their independence. With this, where the OSSK completes Dickinson County puzzle, as you see the puzzle outside on the map, we kind of put the puzzle in the middle. We try to hit every nook and cranny. I've also attached my business card. If you guys need anything, just call. No matter what it is, just give us a call. So I appreciate, thanks again for your time. If you have questions.
Are you guys able to provide proposed budgets next time we come in and do this? Like, show me your budget? Yeah. I think you guys do great work. I'm not trying to demean anything you're doing. You do really, really good work. I think it'd just be nice for clairvoyancy to see what your budget is and how much we contribute to that overall.
Sure.
It could be a little insightful for us. I don't want to downgrade the story you just gave us. That was an amazing story. We're budget, so I'm trying to be the budget guy.
I know. Gas prices?
Yeah.
You just want to email
We do. We feel it.
tomorrow.
So you had mentioned,
I'll make sure they get it.
or earlier that your services are increasing or the number of people you're helping, and maybe it's not an accurate assumption, but I always hear how population in central Kansas, north central Kansas is diminishing. I think maybe Salina maybe is an exception to that and pretty stable, but if you're increasing your services, you say there's greater needs. Are there some specific need areas that you see more opportunity to help, or that you're actually reaching a certain segment or group, or is it pretty much just, can you expand on that a little bit? Or
Well, in all of our counties, 40% are over 65, and so people want to stay in their homes more. So that's a growing area. Alzheimer's services, lots of folks, when they stay home, first 10% of us are gonna at least get Alzheimer's during our lifetime or dementia related. And so I think that's increasing. People who self-direct their services hire their own attendants, and we provide information referral and pay taxes for them. And that money flows through us to the person. Lots of needs in those areas for people with anything physical going on. It used to be people passed away or didn't return home. Now medical services are so much more advanced. You can have heart surgery today and go home 3 days later and go on with your life. So I think a lot of it has to do with medical advances, keeping people wanting to people shifting to want to stay in their home, keep their assets. Because if you go to a nursing home, it's $10,000 a month, and so that's very expensive. So people are just shifting the way they look at things. Kids, we keep serving more kids in Dickinson County from infant toddler. So I think across the county, our rural counties are fighting to hold their own, but I think people need more services. Lots of veterans, of course. North Central Kansas is proudly full of veterans, higher numbers than most, within a lot of cities, of course. And so veterans are aging and needing support. So those are kind of the areas that I that come to mind right away.
And people are better off, they say, if they can stay in their home, I mean,
Absolutely.
on lots of ways. And
Healthier, happier, yes.
And Jenny, I do appreciate your, you mentioned, show here the partnerships within Dickinson County, because we'll hear from some of these other groups
Sure.
where we're aware of them that they might be doing some specific things, but to everybody to work together, because it kind of overlaps where you don't want to duplicate services, but you want to enrich each other's service.
Everybody on that list is, we somewhere intertwined to make that,
Mhm.
whether it's something little or something big, so.
Now, the businesses that are listed, is that because they're utilizing people
That like.
from OCCK?
We have a really good partnership. If you need somebody, he calls, we go in there, we job train them, we get them in there. So we have a really good partnership with him. They actually hire a lot of people in our services so they can have integrated employment. So they're the ones paying them, not us.
Mhm.
We also have a partnership there with transportation.
Oh, yeah.
So they give a piece of money and we take rides for.
Okay.
Yes.
Like the hospital, hospitals a lot with transportation as well as calling. We talk through lots of stuff on the phone, just with even doctors and nurses of just housing or whatever the question is. We work really good together.
So if there's businesses and, I mean, not just Abilene, but Solomon or Chapman, Harrington around,
Mhm.
if they get a hold of you, they can find out if there's people that can match up with their job description or what their need is. And then you do the training.
We do the training, yeah. So we go and learn the tasks, so they don't have to take time out of what they're doing. So I would go in and learn the task, and one of my staff would learn the task, and we would go in there with learn the task and teach the person how to do a job. And then they go do the job without the employer or somebody else having to train them.
The other thing I'm sorry.
Oh, well, I was going to say, sometimes I would like to see the opportunities there to promote that recycling center, and you folks help with that tremendously. And it, but the things that go there, I mean, not only the inspirational story of the tabs, but everything that goes there, that's less
Yes.
poundage
Oh, yeah.
that's going to our landfill, which is costly.
Yes.
We have to haul things off, and I mean, if, I don't know what the totals are you take in there, but if there'd be another 100,000 pounds of things go through there, that would be
I could bring a report next
that
time.
would
some of that stuff.
save the county a little bit of money, but also it's good stewardship.
It is good.
I mean, because you take the plastics and the cardboard and the paper, and a lot of that could be utilized. And maybe we need to look in the county. I hope we're utilizing it as much as we can.
We have 2 trainers in the county, Harrington, hope we still take. They bring our food us.
And we certainly, that's a beautiful partnership. You're absolutely right. And we are stewards. We're farm. I mean, we grew up in the country and we're farm kids mostly originally. And so we know how to be good stewards. And so we can, we continually advertise the Facebook posts. And yes, and I was going to follow up. The other thing that we partner with businesses for is transportation. We're partnering with Sunbelt Solomon, and they pay for a route because they're having a hard time getting people there. And so we drive every day to Solomon. The other thing is assistive technology. So if I'm working and I hurt my back and I need accommodations, we'll get calls from employers to say, hey, can you come and help us figure out this workstation or this? And so we interface with employers 3 different ways, which is wonderful. And then, of course, we host a huge job fair in the fall in Salina. We host them here. And so great relationships with business. It's hard to find help these days everywhere. And so.
And to implement a assisted technology with the farming community as well.
We sure do. We were just having conversations. A friend of ours who lives here was talking about, if there's any, he's a mechanic welder, if there's anything he can do. It's like, yes, we're always running across the farmer that needs this or needs that, or it's great. So we have farmers willing to volunteer to help other farmers, which is beautiful, I think. And then of course we have our OTs and our PTs that can go out and they specialize in keeping farmers farming. So we've done that for a long time. We lost our funding, so now we do it for free. using county money again. So we used to get funding through K-State. That went away and we chose not to stop that service because it's important.
I can really appreciate what you guys do. The rural areas really appreciate, and I live in a small town. Just a number of years ago, we had an elderly lady that couldn't get out of her home much. And she would call down to the co-op. That's kind of a central place where people
Yes,
ask for pop to be delivered up to her.
yes.
And so we obviously wanted to help this lady, elderly lady. But she says, Ron, when you bring my pop up to me, just walk in the house. Don't knock. Don't ring the doorbell. Just walk in. Well, I wasn't brought up that way. You really want to knock before you go in, as you guys know, going into people's homes. Well, I knock. Nobody's come to the door. But finally, I remember, well, she did say, come on in. So I opened the door and walk in. And here's this elderly lady stretched out on a recliner. I'm carrying this pop and I say, hey, it's Ron here. Bring in your pop. And she don't move. I go, oh. I walk into the kitchen where she tells me to sit down. I set the pop down. I think, Irene, I'm here with your pop. And she's not moving. And I walk right up next to her and I said, hey, Irene, this is Ron here. I got your pop. And I go, oh, no, now I got to do that CPR thing or whatever. I go, oh, what a day for me. Oh, my gosh. So I reached down to touch her and she just jumps up and screams. She says, oh, my God, you scared me. I didn't know she couldn't hear. Anyway, I might have had a heart attack myself, but I can appreciate what you guys go through.
Well,
Thank you.
Go into her house and set up flashing, so when you're in all flashes or vibrates but people are so dependent they don't want to leave their home and yet
No.
it's hard going, staying there.
It's,
Yeah.
anyway.
I'm gonna ditto. I think what you guys do is very valuable. To be good stewards and do our job correctly. I'd love to see a budget, your last year's budget, your proposed budget. Just show me where things are and where you're going.
Sure.
Just so we can be good financiers. I'm looking at your CFO right now.
Sure, absolutely, yes, yes, yeah, we'll be glad to share and talk to you about it if you want. It looks big. We served 7,000 people last year, so
Good.
we have 20 some different funding sources that we try to piece together to meet needs.
It's just something I'd like to do with all of our appropriation accounts. Anybody's coming for a budget, our departments have to do the same.
Sure. And we love sharing and we love talking about the budget because every year we try to figure out how to pay more than $18 to $20 an hour and how to do those things to keep us going. So
I think that'd be really reflective then.
yes.
I know the CFO is new, but how long have each of you been with OCCK?
45 years.
15,
Wow.
29, I'm actually.
You were the 9 years and she's new.
Next year, you can't use that excuse.
Yeah.
We tend to keep people. We're very fortunate.
You guys must like your job.
Job retention support.
That's it.
All levels.
Love my job.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Well, you too.
Tim?
You can send it to Mark, so you can send it to me.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Like,
Planning and zoning.
okay.
Gonna go over the budget with you.
It's probably
We tried to keep it.
No, they were about to leave.
talk about.
Like 700.
Okay.
I mean,
We had, we did not anticipate any.
So that give me a minute to get your sheet ready.
I sent it, what, you did, okay, that's what I was. But to see what's there, if you need it. As long as it's.
We don't have his budget in front of us, do we?
Tim's, yeah, it should be for zoning, it should be Department 35. You should have had 4 of them,
Oh, okay.
so, nope. No,
There it is.
Yep.
It's on.
Look at the fund numbers, it says 1,035. Did you see those?
Okay. Oh, yeah, I looked at the project.
Well, I mean, sometimes they're hard to see over there on the left.
That's gonna highlight.
Which one is it?
They don't have it in the budget though for the highlights.
Department 35, 1,035. Did you? Yeah, okay.
I don't see it.
Can you find it?
I'm not looking right here.
Well, it's right on the.
Looking for?
It's looking for-
Action.
Right?
Work plan, right?
That's 35.
Back or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
there you go.
okay, thank you.
I went through the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, under, we're not anticipating any legal services this year, fortunately. This was basically to kind of help walk us through the alternative energy regulations and some other cases and things that we had to deal with last year. The dues is staying, is going up about $500, and dues memberships and different things. The state, especially the state ones, have a tendency to go up, every year. And so we wanted to try to stay on top of that. The zoning advertising is stayed, is going to be the same for 27. It's budgeted this year for $500. And that's staying the same. The zoning board mileage, we've had a couple of new members that are on the south part of the county now and when you factor in the distance that they have to go to, plus the new mileage rate of 72.50 per mile, it's that kind of had to bump up our budget a little bit on that line item. It's travel, training, and registration. That's we've tried to keep that pretty low. We've gone actually down a little bit on that. That would include my any of my conferences that I go to in state. I try to keep everything in state as much as I can. I don't think I've been to a national planning conference in over 10 years. So but we also, part of the reason that under travel, training, and registration, we took out 2,687 of that back in 25 for Jim Cowell, who was helping training our the planning commission during their annual training. We felt it would be a good idea to hire someone from the outside to give them kind of counsel how to do their job, basically. And the rest of the is pretty much we've kept at the same rate. So we hopefully have tried to keep it as flat as possible for 27. Any questions?
Guy have any commissioners?
Budget related directly with them. Or we have everybody on planning and zoning as far as the board, is it filled?
Yes, it's full. We got full memberships.
Okay. And like, as you mentioned, I increased the mileage, but that was something we deliberately and intentionally did, is to try to have locations throughout, representation throughout the county. So I'm glad we have those people interested and involved.
Oh, yeah.
So I realize that it's not on the study session agenda, but did you have any questions on the text amendment resolution before you during the regular meeting since Tim is here? He covered it last week.
Do not, and we probably.
It's just primarily get that and the planning commission and you guys too, but primarily for the process of submitting an application, making sure that everything's in order for the planning commission.
It just laid out a little more concise language in that for the plan.
And it gives staff and the planning commission more direction too, maybe that's the third, kind of ambiguities in the application.
Well, I don't think we have any questions, Tim. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me, everybody. My daughter's getting sick. Discussion regarding the MOU of the City of Abilene Fuel Center. I think we kind of went over this a little bit. Do you, any other questions that we might have there?
Nice to be able to partner with somebody and help them,
I think so too. I think it probably saves us all money. There's 10% admin fee tacked onto that, as we alluded to administer it.
Okay.
It's per gallon.
Yes,
So not as,
Or 10 cent. I'm
10 cents, yes.
I did not catch 10 cent. Sorry.
so just to kind of walk through, that facility has to be available for the city to use in our trucks and so on, and, but it is a secured facility, so.
Correct.
We haven't had any issues of someone just going in there.
They can.
It was a gas they can access and so on, so which would be a, that'd be a
So
legal issue, or
it definitely would.
be arrested.
So it's cameraed. There's a pro key that's assigned to each vehicle, and then there's a user that has a code that they have to enter. They have to enter both numbers into the system and then put mileage in. So, and like I said, it's also cameraed. So the average citizen can't just go in there and fuel up. It
But,
wouldn't work.
but also that acts as an audit, so,
Yes.
so one person all of a sudden isn't using a lot of fuel and doesn't match up with what the responsibilities of the truck or vehicle they drive.
Correct. So, and then it's billed off of the user and the vehicle. And there's a report that's printed out that shows how many gallons were and when, the date and time. And then that's what's utilized, sent to all the managers, and then would be sent to the city as well. So they can track how much fuel is being used.
And ultimately, using lots of fuel at one location, we get a better price in the bidding process. And we don't always have the same person have the low bids.
Correct.
I mean, it is very competitive.
Now, the city did approve it at their meeting on Monday. And if you wanted to add it to the agenda, if you so choose, you could do that or wait to do it next week.
And that administrative fee offsets the fact that we are assuming some liability because we're actually the ones that are responsible for
Correct.
everything being mixed properly.
The insurance, the software, the additive, things like that. So
How often would we have to replace a tank?
the tanks, ooh, we haven't had to replace the
20
tanks.
years, or-
We've had ours 42 years.
I was gonna say that tank is
As long as-
original.
People painted, it should be fine.
Yeah.
So that we haven't had to replace the tank. We've had to replace
Ours is underground too.
yeah. And it is underground, and we've had to replace the software and the hardware pieces, but that's it.
So it might be interesting. I'm sure it's somewhere in the notes when that was put in. So if it was put in
Oh, Chancey, do you know off the top of your head?
30 years ago.
Yeah,
2007.
2007.
We replaced the tanks. It was right at the time of the ice storm.
Okay.
We couldn't have the backup power.
That's right, yes.
And then back got the new overhead thing.
Uh-huh, to protect it, so,
Put that at 8.
So we're good.
so we are good, yes.
It's reasonable.
And, the highway department takes very good care of the,
It doesn't hurt to ask, all of a sudden you'll find out something. It's like, well,
yeah,
30 years ago, people knew that in
yes.
30 years.
Right, right.
Paul was around. So.
Yeah, well, there.
It's only 20 years ago.
Sheriff's Department came over to Enterprise and filled up because they couldn't get fuel.
Yeah.
Power was out.
Power was out.
They couldn't get fuel and ours at Enterprise was solar power.
Mhm.
And then it was shortly after that, the juvenile detention center got that new generator and they had the old one and that went down there. So that is now backed up
Yes.
by the generator. That's how I can get you dates.
Well, I'm glad you were here today, Paul.
That's right.
He's more than just good looks.
Yes.
Mine's so tiny, I don't think anyone's gonna agree with me, but net 30 instead of net 15.
Just because of the way they pay, the cycle that they pay, yeah. And I think they're good for it. I think they're probably good for it, so.
No, you're just a month behind.
Do you want this on the agenda today to move things along, or do we need to?
No, it's just on the study session. You could certainly add it to the agenda if you so approve.
Would you like to?
Oh, be nice to have it.
It's adopting the memorandum, right?
Yes.
Then you can-
Revised memorandum with the city of Abilene.
You find that, Ron?
Yes, I am, yeah. Get going, so get bombarded at the end here.
Add it to the, back to the agenda here. Okay. Discussion regarding county appoint to 911 advisory board. I'm glad you're here. How about you? Yeah. I think it's been brought up that we have an open position on the 911 advisory board. Paul Freilich has been brought up to fill that position. Now that you're here, you want to do that?
I've been on and off of that so many times, it didn't go to hurt.
Commissioners, any discussion?
Wonderful he's doing that. I mean, that's.
I think so too.
It goes with the job.
Did you
That's a
turn in
lot.
a resume so we know about him?
No.
I'm sorry.
You did a background check, Chancey?
I don't think there's much, I think everyone's comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Paul,
Yes.
I asked the question if a commissioner should sit on that. I don't think they should. I think it's probably best that someone else sits on that. Was the only question I had.
The thing I look at is that board is we're supposed to be out there to bring you the information.
Good point.
And our opinions are varied because it's a broad scope of the county on that advisory. So, we did good with getting the 800 megahertz project up and running.
Slowly but surely, we got it, so.
But we work across so many different disciplines that think stuff needs to be done differently between police, fire, EMS, and the different services that are provided. We need the board to be able to make them all work together cohesively and then to come to you with that information.
And I've worked in all of those. I've been here for the sheriff's department, so I've got KLHC background, I've got fire, I've got EMS.
Radio.
Yeah, well, we spent enough shifts working together as dispatchers.
Who chairs that board?
So right now, the fire chief from Harrington is the elected chair, but that could change next month or
Is
the
that
next
like a
meeting.
rotating thing, or how do you
Yeah.
guys handle
Mhm.
that? Okay. Well, commissioners, I don't, that one's a pretty quick one too. I mean, do we need to wait?
If you want to add it to the agenda, add it to the agenda.
Like to.
Yeah.
Should.
Sure.
Well, that was an easy discussion.
Yeah. Do you have any questions on anything on the agenda?
Wow.
So, I mean, we were fortunate Paul's here as well, because you do have the resolution for the fire districts.
Yeah,
That is somewhat of a housing or, housekeeping matter, because we've already had the discussion, the resolutions have been published. Ready to move forward with that, so should be pretty straightforward, actually.
I guess I'm gonna ask a general question about fire in general. I don't know if how we're doing is the right question, but I mean, I don't know how to ask this question. How is our fire protection in this county? I guess maybe that's,
So, in the rural areas of the county, it used to be non-existent. And when I came on, back then it was called Chapman Rural Fire Department. And in 1984, we became a county fire district. And most of everybody's equipment in the rural protection areas was old military surplus junk. And if you look at what our rural districts are running now, it can't be identical to city equipment because it's a whole different type of firefighter. We're running modern equipment where we get back on the run, we're not having a wrench on the truck for 2 days after work. And communications is so much better. And it's really nice there again, but we just think you can have a $2 million fire truck and it's not worth a penny if you don't have the person to operate that truck. And recruitment and retention and a volunteer, we do pay a very small stipend for making fire runs, but that's pales in comparison to the hours spent. They may be out all day long. And now with the advent of our county wildland task force, we've reached far beyond our county borders and helping our neighbors. And there again, we know if we have the need here, that's going to be reciprocated back to us. But it is, I think we're all headed in the right direction. This area with this merger with us is going to clean up one of the weak spots in the county. One of our goals as the fire district and my board of directors is to try to get the best possible value for our taxpayers and in getting our community fire class protection rating lower, so our constituents pay less on fire insurance. And the two townships that are coming in with this are classified as an ISO class 10, which is the same as not having a fire district. Dickinson County Fire District 1 carries an ISO class 6X, which means if you're within the bounds of certain district space requirements from a fire station, if we have a sustainable water supply, they get the best rate. And then they get the other side of the rating if we don't have sustainable water supplies. So, yeah, it's coming a long ways. And all in all, from days when Janelle and I dispatched in the old original 911 center, we jokingly would say we page a fire district and time them with a calendar. It's minutes to seconds now when they're getting moving and rolling. And a lot of this, I think, getting the newer equipment is a level of pride for the volunteers. And that just fuels everything. That brings in more volunteers. So
the fire chiefs meeting pulls all of the fire districts in our county together. And then that pulls the training together. So we have a lot more cohesiveness between the departments where we didn't used to they wouldn't call for mutual aid for help. And now everybody across the county knows, hey, if I need help, we're going to have these guys come help us. And it just brings the training and the level of response to the taxpayers over the top.
And to highlight on that training side of it, we've had there's a dual class going on taught by Kansas Fire and Rescue Training Institute, which I hate to say is a part of the University of Kansas. But we just this late winter and early spring have hosted that. That's the Enterprise Fire Department hosted it. All of the fire departments have been supporting it. We've all had Abilene, Harrington, Enterprise District 1 and Chapman Fire have had firefighters in that as a joint class, firefighter 1, firefighter 2. The last 2 weekends, KU has brought in the live burn trailer and the skills trailer and hosted that there at Enterprise. I fed all the firefighters that are going through it. May 30th is their testing. So when they pass that, May 30th, they'll be getting their notification that we'll have 13 more firefighters in the county. It's kind of nice because they did firefighter 1 and 2 together, so they're kind of leapfrogging it. And they'll jump right from firefighter 1 to firefighter 2. So and that's a nationally accredited program.
That's big.
So as we get more and more of that done, there again, these guys go to school together. They're on different departments, but when we come together on a major incident, it just everything meshes.
But understand, that volunteer fire department, to be a firefighter, you don't need any training. You just need to volunteer. So to have the training is such a bonus that they know what they're doing. They're safe. They're not going to get hurt. That the people are going to be served well, because there are other counties that have volunteer fire departments that show up for fire training, but in a lot of the times we're going to show up and work on the truck because it's broke. And that's how the fire training goes. Instead of learning firefighting techniques, how to vent the house, how to get in access to the house without causing damage, and just
You have to save yourself if you're in trouble.
I think that speaks to the Fire Chiefs Association and the strength of it and the relationships that these two, along with the other fire chiefs in the county, have built, because that's very important. And they're holding each other to a higher standard, which is important for our citizens as well as our firefighters. So I think that's
We've
huge.
had other fire chiefs, like down Wells, the county, not their city fire chief. Like senators came down, wanted to know how are we getting our chiefs association to work?
And then we went up to their chiefs meeting and talked about it. They have fire departments there that have 15, 20 volunteers. Nobody wants to be the chief of the department. So they have no chief. And they were teasing and said, well, what if we just make you the chief of the meeting here? How does that work here? It's a struggle, but we're glad that we have what we have.
Probably the opposite of the thing there, huh? Not enough chiefs. We kind of go the opposite way there.
One of the things that I have the greatest pride in as being a fire chief is I have always had a junior firefighter program, try to bring younger people in. And I've got now 6 of those that started with us out of high school and have gotten all of their EMT, firefighter 1, firefighter 2, driver operator training, and are now career firefighters. Junction City Fire, Fort Riley Fire, and Manhattan Fire. So, and I've had several have been doing this too long that have done that and retired. So it's a point of pride that we can give these young people the education they need, not only to serve our community, but to make a career out.
It's the leadership that we have in this county, which
I know my nephew just graduated from firefighter school. I don't know how to. Yeah, that Hutch or
I've got a big one here in the state.
he goes to Solomon. I don't know if they have like a outreach, what he
Okay.
did, but
Yeah,
I'm not sure what I'll be honest, I should ask that, but I say congratulations.
and it's not just a male dominated.
No,
We've got 3 females, and one of my females that started with us is the career firefighter at Fort Riley.
go look at our EMS, those are some ladies in there too, so it's everybody. Well, I'll say thank you on behalf of the residents of Dickinson, so
When you learned that one day when I was up at F&R, and I wanted to go sit down and eat,
I'll say, yeah,
just take off, jump home.
you did. I know we used to have some volunteers out at Abilene Machine, so I've always been very thankful to have them even at our company. I mean, at one point, we're like, who's going to defibrillate people?
Yeah,
Who's even knows how to do that? I mean, because EMT ain't gonna make it in time to Abilene Machine.
you know,
5, 6 minutes, you may not.
we try to recognize the employers that allow
I encourage it. I think it's great having
them.
an emergency guy on staff.
Great Plains just finally started allowing. So we've got some guys that work there at the plant enterprise that, you know, when it used to be combustion engineering was still there and then ABB, at one time we had 7. And they said, just don't abuse it, get them back as quick as you can. And so that's vital in the volunteer side of things, the employers that will allow their employees.
I'm a little bit more willing to volunteer.
Well, you know, and that's how we got our ground donated for our station there in Enterprise. It's when the elevator, many years ago, in 1983, burned in Enterprise. That was still combustion engineering or CE then. And the management of the company got in and saw that the corner of their building was starting to burn, and they saw who put it out. And it was the Yellow Come fire. Everybody in the county was invited to come on that one. And they saw us putting that out, and the plant manager came and says, what can we do to repay you guys? They said, you guys got that ground down there that you're not doing anything. So we need a place to build a new station. And a week later, I had a deed for it. And
Pretty good.
so, yeah, they see the need. And especially, you know, like the Abilene machine, in Solomon's, Lincoln Township's area. I mean, it's critical that these employers.
I'm not sure we might have 1 volunteer now, maybe 2.
Over the years, you've had quite.
I know, well, we brought it up the other day and I said, I don't think we got any more volunteer. Who's gonna, like I said, we're gonna train somebody.
Are the departments struggling to find volunteers?
Somewhere.
Yeah. Just
Those-
depends on where they're at.
Holman is struggling a little bit, weren't they?
They share people.
Yeah.
Like they're on Abilene Grant, and
Yes.
District 2, all at the same time. So it looks like there's people, but if we have a fire, we only get a limited amount and show up because we're on multiple departments.
And that's fit the city of Abilene, because with the train traffic here in town years ago, they had the tracks out here blocked, and that church down on Southeast Second had that fire in the basement. And Abilene couldn't get a fire truck across the tracks. Grant Township was their station. Well, at that time, Grant Township had a rule, you could not be on the Abilene City Fire. So they had staff, and they came up and got that out. Of course, the railroad ended up paying to remodel that church. But now, since that time, Grant has struggled so much, they started allowing the off-duty Abilene firefighters on their department. Well, Grant can't call Abilene for mutual aid now, because if they've got a massive structure fire in town, they're already there. And there's only like 1 or 2 other departments associated with that. So yeah, that's the biggest thing. Like I said, you can have multi-million-dollar pieces of apparatus, but if you don't have the people behind them, they're worthless.
Doesn't work very well. Okay. Well, we got a soft spot in our heart for the volunteers in Solomon. They helped us with a big fire many years ago, so.
Oh, we were actually over on that one too.
I know you were. I was gonna say that too. I was gonna pull you in there too, yeah. The big one.
Take a break for a few minutes.
I think we got nothing else to discuss. We'll take a quick 8-minute break till 11, our regular meeting. Yeah, we got a stone figured out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's fine.
I thought about that. I don't even know it anymore. Let's try to. Then we were going, I didn't know this, your competition's right across the street.
Yeah,
I didn't.
well, and then. Well, I was one of the owners of Memorial.
Okay,
Yeah, my grandfather founded it.
that's what I thought.
I went to my dad and 2 uncles, and they went to the 3rd generation. And then at that point, there's 20 years age difference, which, you don't think about that unless people kind of don't always share that information. One was ready to retire just like that. One wanted to move. So
That's the way it went. We got it figured out. Yeah. Buy something.
well, let's talk about that afterwards,
Okay.
because I think I can.
My mom brought it up. I said, let me ask Led, he might know.
You gotta remove.
You need to just go out there and.
We're gonna do this 5 or 5.
So, okay.
I had the same trouble too in family.
Yeah.
So I waited till the other one passed over in the week.
I'll enjoy burning those up.
Oh,
Gonna do it before we run it. You got time. To get them out of there already.
I think we get wrong with land was contracted to a monument company and that company sold out.
Oh,
There's a lot of this stuff, it's print stuff on those farms or whatever it is.
the other one's clear full, so I got 2 mics.
It's part of it,
Well,
it's complicated to get it matched up.
we can match lettering pretty well.
And yeah,
I mean, we don't have any trouble.
Yeah, they did a cool deal for us, for old logo on there.
Oh, wow.
That was his logo. He didn't like the new logo. We redid it and he just never liked it.
Oh,
Never liked it.
so you put the original logo on
His
there?
original that he would have designed, he designed it.
Oh,
But he was,
I haven't looked at it that close. I saw the preliminary design. And I actually,
Did you get a chance to sign in, sir?
Now, full sign in.
Yes, please. Thank you. Right there.
how are you doing?
Right. Full sign in.
Yeah, yeah, good to see you.
Betcha.
Hi there.
Are you doing something in particular on the
You
agenda?
said something about 11 o'clock.
Oh, so you're gonna do that? Okay, hey. Dave, yes.
oh, well, I was gonna read, perfect.
I mean, you can,
No, no, no,
No,
no.
if you're here,
I would-
I'm just,
I actually, I.
it's Arden Peterson said.
you just go ahead and do it. And I'm just, here
I
to,
love it.
I just wanted to listen to the prayer and so.
Okay, so he can keep that, we'll keep that like in the drawer, and then that way, if we don't have someone show up, we've got it.
Well, I just want, if you, you was mentioning it, and so I said, well, I'm just going to come to,
I'd love
Check it
for you
out.
to do it. I was actually gonna ask her if anybody signed up. If
Nobody
you
has
didn't, I was gonna read the Lord's Prayer, but if you're here,
no, go ahead and do it. Yes.
I'd rather you.
No, if you came here,
I'm, because I'm very new at this.
so you'll step up to the podium and.
So we'll call roll call, which is just a slant. We'll call roll.
Yes, I did.
I'll run you through it here in just. When you're done.
No, nobody has signed up so far, so.
I figured.
Yeah, I didn't know. I know.
On Mother's Day, you got to really.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh.
Is she okay? Did she have surgery?
So she has to wait a week and they go back to.
No, I just wanted to come
See if it's
see
good.
how these boards. That's why.
It's,
So.
yeah, I mean, I'm getting. I didn't. Laundry and all that.
I see that's how much that does now, don't you, Ron?
I do, but I appreciate it. I feel sorry for him.
Did she just step down wrong off the step?
I fell wrong and then they just snapped it, boom. I mean, it was, they got her in a boot right now, but, which I think is really neat because the cast,
Yeah.
which is really late. But we'll know more next week. So Tuesday.
Had to get the swelling down.
It wasn't a fun weekend.
I'll bet it was not.
Because we were planning our day out. We got eat together and do some stuff, and then it would turn into the complete opposite. So,
Sorry.
yeah.
No, I don't think I did. Kenny Rolls.
Thank
Your family's been here, what, 2 or 3 generations?
you.
Or
Yeah.
a couple at least.
Well, I've been here since 90, when I was 9 years old. So,
Okay,
and then I moved to Concordia and went to service.
okay.
They email it.
So I'm fairly new at this, for everything and stuff like that.
Well, there was kind of a discussion, I mean.
I wrote
The ones kind of involved said, oh, that's a great thing and we ought to support it. So I think a couple of them indicated they might get a hold of you to come and do that.
It's listed on our website where they can sign up. That way we have a record of it. There's a link, so.
I plan on reading the Lord's Prayer today.
I've got meetings. Back. I'm planning on it, but then I've had some meetings pop up, so. Starting at 8 o'clock and then all morning.
School record for the 800 meters.
After, okay.
He lost the week before,
Be good to go.
it was 2 seconds slower.
So it's-
Oh, you almost had the school record. It's like, what? So then that was the only move last week, the last one was Dickinson.
Call this meeting to order. If it all rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We all remain standing. I'd like to take some time for invocation. I'd like to offer the Lord's Prayer for today. For all bow our heads in prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and glory forever and ever. Amen. Amen. Thank you, guys. Moving down to the approval of the agenda. We have resolution 051426, appointment of Vicki Guyver to Dickinson County, North Central Flint Hills Area Agency on Aging. Resolution 051426A, administrative resolution donating lots 1 and 3 to the city of Harrington. Resolution 051426B, declaring the new boundaries of Dickinson County Fire District Number 1. Resolution 051426C, amending Article 14 of the development plan. Consideration and approval of the updated proposal for core EMR electronic medical record software. Consider an approval of proposal for Vance Brothers and additional microsurfacing. And consideration of purchase of chemicals in the auction weed department. Memorandum of understanding with the city of Abilene. And the appointment of Paul Freilich to the 911 advisory board. Do I hear a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
There's motion and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Moving down to the consent agenda for this week. Minutes are provided for the May 7th meeting in your packets, commissioners. Accounts payable, $298,145.05. Hand checks for $2,000, $458.80. SD security for $4,830. A special check for $1,963. And indigent defense for $11,600. Do I have a motion to approve the consent?
Moved.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Commissioner comments, committee reports. Lynn, do you want to start us off?
The other week I ran into Reed Petty and it was just kind of random. But he is the district director for Senator Jerry Moran. And, you know, he just inquired how things were going, but also kind of a reminder. He is available and sometimes, you know, the senators Moran's back in DC and various places, but he does have people throughout the district and throughout the state of Kansas that if we have any concerns, we can bring those to them. And so anyway, I appreciate the work. And he's been with Senator Moran for quite a few years. So, and then I was just going to mention congratulations to many of the graduates that we have. And I know across the county, all the school districts, 8th grade and high school, they're recognizing their graduates. And I'm paying a little closer attention to that because I have a senior in high school granddaughter that's graduating this year. And so when I was up at West Country Mart for something else, they had flowers set up. They're really into marketing and you could buy one bouquet, you know, and then the higher priced one was for success. The other one was for dreams, was kind of a marketing, but you know, really that does kind of say it. You want to recognize the success they've had and the hopes and dreams that they have and help the parents with their pocketbooks.
Ron, thank you, Wes.
I did spend a little time in Junction City Detention Center Things are going fine and just looking to see what's going to happen this year. It's going to be a tough year. But I have to share with you, I did stop off in Manhattan I thought I'd stop and get some donuts at a business there. And I have a little bit of a sweet tooth. And when I went to pay for the donuts, the cashier said, "Hey, they're free. The guy in front of you paid for them." I go, "Whoa, that's pretty nice." So I kept an eye on the vehicle that was there and kind of chased him down in the traffic and waved and thanked him for the kind gesture. Well, some time went by and I thought I'd go back and do the same thing myself because I wanted to pass it on. So I was the first in line and I said, "By the way, I'll take care of the car behind me." And I handed him my little credit card, debit card, and he signed it off and said, "Thank you." And I got my little donuts and went on the way. But I happened to look down at the credit card thing and it was $60-some with a donut. I got 7 dozen. So be careful. The acts of kindness can sometimes get you in trouble.
Had a school bus behind you.
Little humor here, you guys.
Thank you, Ron.
Yeah.
I don't have much to report. As some of you may or may not know, I want to say thank you for all the condolences that I've gotten. But didn't get up to much last week. So, with that, we'll go ahead and move down to a brief moment for public comments. If County Administrator General Docker will read the rules, please.
For the Open Meetings Act, KSA 75-4317 and 75-4318A, as the elected board, the county commission is not allowed to meet or make any decisions without posting the meeting. They are only allowed to act on items on the agenda which they set. During their regular meeting, the county commission may allow for public comments on items not listed on the approved agenda. It is at the discretion of the county commission if they allow comments on agenda items. If you wish to provide comments, please come forward to the podium and state your name and address. If you are online, raise your hand and we will unmute you. Please state your name and address. Each person may speak for 3 minutes. The allotted time will start after the speaker has given his or her name and address. Public comments shall be addressed to the county commission only and not to the speaker or the audience. Only the county commission will be permitted to ask the speaker questions. The public comment period is not a back and forth discussion with the county commission. You should make your views and input known to them, but it is not a time to ask them questions. You should not expect them to respond to your comments. Comments may express support or agreement with the previous speakers, but in the interest of time, please do not repeat the same information. You may state something to the effect of your name and address and you agree with the previous speaker. It is important to maintain a respectful, non-threatening atmosphere for anyone who would like to speak. Please do not engage in such actions as cheering, booing, clapping, insults, threats, etc.
Thank you. Is there any public comments at this time? I do not believe we have any today. Go ahead and move on to the reports from county officers. County Administrator Janelle Dockendorf.
Commissioners, a few things to report. So the community baby shower was held last week, and I do have a few pictures that they sent. So it was very well attended. They had, I believe it was 25 pregnant and postpartum participants, 22 vendors or resources were present as well. So this is a very good event, and it was very exciting for them, I think. So I appreciate all the hard work that the health department put into this. The appraiser's office continues with the personal property meetings. Tim will hold a planning and zoning board meeting next week as well, and he's got a couple things on the agenda. The Public Works Department is starting to pave south of Solomon on Barn Road. They will start on Monday, and that is also when they'll start their 10-hour days. So they're going to be paving about 6.5 miles. They're cleaning ditches. Also needed to let you know that the 2500 Avenue Bridge should be open next week. That's one of the 3 bridges that you had approved last year, actually, to have work completed on. So that will be the last one. And we've received, along with KDOT, have received obviously numerous calls on the K-15 bridge replacement, about the high speeds, the dust. And so we've talked to KDOT about adding some additional signs there, and they're going to work with us to do that. We put up a couple of our electronic signs letting people know that this is for local traffic and to slow down. So unfortunately, the bridge needs to be replaced. As a driver, please be aware and be aware of your surroundings and of other drivers as you're taking those routes. So do you have any questions for me?
I believe we do. Thank you, Janelle.
We may are going to cover this later, but I do plan on attending that groundbreaking. one.
Okay.
Stephanie Eisenhower is having that tomorrow at 10 a.m. So I don't know if other commissioners will be there, but gonna put it on the web.
You guys gonna-
I will not.
Ron?
Janelle, I don't believe we have county council today. It comes on the first of the month or second week of the month.
Yes, but since he was here last week and we're in budget, we're not holding the department meeting. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Notice of communications, County Clerk Jennifer Gayton.
The Eisenhower Foundation is celebrating the groundbreaking of the Eisenhower Education Center this Friday, May 15th at 10 to 10:30 a.m. at 200 Southeast 4th Street in Abilene, Kansas, if they would like to attend that. Also, the Dickinson County Recovery Court graduation. The next one is June 10th at 3:30 p.m. here at the courthouse at 109 East 1st Street, Abilene, Kansas. Finally, the filing deadline to file for office will be June 1st at noon. The following offices will be available to file for. We have United States Senate, United States House of Representatives, 1st District, Governor/Lieutenant Governor, Secretary of State, Attorney General, State Treasurer, Commissioner of Insurance, State Senate, 24th District, State Representative, 64th and 70th District, State Board of Education, 7th District, Commissioner, 1st District, Township Clerk for all 24 townships, and also a 1 precinct committee man and 1 precinct committee woman in each precinct for each party. I should be specific on that. That would be it for me.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, go ahead and move down to our resolutions. First one today is resolution 051426, appointment of Vicky Guyber to Dickinson County Representative to the North Central Flint Hills Areas Agency on Aging. Guess I'll probably open it up to you, Lynn. I think this was,
I'll go ahead and make the motion that we adopt that resolution 051426 and appoint Vicky Gabar. She'll be the Dickinson County representative for North Central Flint Hills Area Agency on the Aging.
Second that.
so moved a second. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is resolution 051426A, administrative resolution donating lots 1 and 3, block 15, town of Harrington, section 12, township 16, range 04. I don't know if we got that dialed in enough. Otherwise located at the southwest, okay, we got more. Otherwise located at the southwest corner of North B Street and East Wild Street to the Harrington Land Bank.
Correct.
Thanks, Tim. We got it. We got exactly what it said.
You're right there.
Ron, you brought up some concerns here. Do you want to discuss that or?
My concerns was just make sure that it's equitable to all the people, this land was available to it. County has, and my understanding from Janelle and Kenny here is it's been, the county has been taking care of it for quite some time. It is a cost to the county. It's a difficult piece of ground to market, as far as market. It falls within the guidelines of law of getting rid of it. So I'd be in favor of getting rid of it, to turning it over to Land Bank Harrington.
Okay.
And I know Ron had brought up, which was kind of a concern or maybe a little bit of a red flag, is that someone that is a member of the land bank or serves on that board has the adjacent property, and so logically they're going to benefit from it. Our intent to try to have someone benefit, but in this situation, if we have to maintain it and spray it, we're costing money, and this at least would get it back on the tax rolls. So, I mean, it's not, it's not the perfect situation by any means, but I think just the practicality of it, it's going to achieve getting it on the tax rolls. And it's not a particularly valuable property. I think you said it was valued at $4,000, which, we can look at properties to build a house on, and this is too small for that.
Right.
Most of them in the area are quite a bit more than that, so it's not a great deal where someone's getting some commercial property that they're gonna benefit a lot of money off of or something, so.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'm surprised this isn't already in their land bank. In the city.
So since we own it, we've never donated it before, so that's just, right, that's just the process for this, so, yeah.
Yeah, and I just mentioned that other, and I think Ron had earlier, just more for transparency that we're,
Right.
you know, it's a little bit awkward, but it's the best way to relieve the responsibility of having to take care of it, which costs the county some money and time and effort.
Years ago, it was on a tax sale, and I'm not 100% sure how that came to us, but we ended up with it, so we've maintained it ever since then, so.
This notice will go out if we agree on this, correct?
It'll be sent back to the Harrington City and to the land bank, and then it'll be deeded to them.
Something I need to read or something.
No, I don't think I'll have to do that.
Okay,
I move that we adopt resolution 051426A, and that's the administrative resolution, which is donating lots 1 and 3, block 15, town of Harrington, section 12, township 16, range 4, otherwise known as the southwest corner of North B Street and East Wild Street, to the Harrington Land Bank.
so moved. I'll second that. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Moving on, next item on the agenda, resolution 051426B, declaring new boundaries for Dickinson County Fire District number 1, following the finality, of resolution 031226. We've discussed this before. I guess this is to tie it up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, this will be the last step.
You guys need any information on this before we make this motion, or?
I'm good.
Likewise.
I hear a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion on 051426B, is it correct?
Move.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next agenda item is resolution 051426C, amending Article 14 of Development Plan, sections 14-102 and 14-104 to include additional process for reviewing applications and site plan provisions for conditional use permits. And what, yeah.
Again,
Good morning.
Tim Hamilton, Planning and Zoning. This is just something that both staff and the planning commission feel is necessary to, as far as part of the submittal process of having reviewing an application and then it's been submitted to us. This will make sure that we're meeting whatever the state statute requires for reviewing and giving due process to the applicant, as well as due process for the planning commissioners. And it also assures, well, hopefully will ensure that whatever is submitted in an application will be consistent with what's presented at a public hearing. Because what we had recently, we had a situation where someone was proposing something in the application, and then when they came to the meeting, they varied it a little bit, and it caused a little bit of problems for the planning commission, and they decided to table it. And unfortunately, that person pulled their application before it got considered. So, but it was that kind of was the impetus of this. So, if you have any questions for me,
These documents will be provided online if the public's interested in reading the amendments that we made.
Yes.
You described them very well, so just in case they want to go through and read it.
Oh, yeah.
As you said, the planning commission did approve this 7-0 unanimously, so I don't know if, for me, there's not much of a discussion other than getting it approved. Commissioners?
I'd move that we approve resolution 051426C. And this amends the Article 14 of the development plan.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Moving to other business, we have consideration and approval of the updated proposal for core EMR, electronic medical record software, licensing and maintenance fees. Do you want to kind of touch on this?
So commissioners, Sheriff Davis was in last week and presented a request to update the medical records software that lost my train of thought there a minute. That the medical staff uses in the jail for the inmates and for processing. And originally we thought it was going to be the $5,000 for the setup fee. Well, there's consequently licenses and maintenance fees that go along with that. So there's going to be an additional $12,800 in fees to cover that. And the fees would come out of the inmate medical or the inmate reimbursement dollars that they received annually. So this is just to get everything set up. This will be the final piece to it. And he apologizes for not presenting all of that information when he was in before. So I told him that I would bring that up to you and you can yell at him later. So.
Well, but there is a fund to take care of this.
Correct. It's not coming out of jail.
Sometimes that's the cost of doing business, sadly.
I'll agree to it, but I'd be kind of mad if I was Jerry, but that's just me.
Right. Understand. Yes.
I thought it was 5 and then now it's 17.
Mhm.
Quite a jump.
Yes.
But I mean, if it's his fund and. Okay. As you said, it's gonna be funded out of the inmate forfeiture fund, is that what?
Inmate
Medical fund, okay.
or inmate reimbursement fund.
We have a motion to approve the updated proposal from Core EMR.
I'll make that motion.
So moved,
Second.
seconded. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I do it a third time. I don't know if we do it, but that's up to him. Okay. Consider and approve the proposal from Vance Brothers for an additional micro servicing on 14th Street bypass and south of Solomon. We heard this last week in study as well. This is getting on the agenda today. From what we heard from Martin last study session is that they're really impressed with the microsurfacing. It's lasting. It's a good cost-effective way to, instead of chip sealing, and it lasts longer. It's really the big thing. So we don't have to chip seal as often or overlay as often.
The application's pretty quick too, so it's not, the road isn't
Likewise, yeah.
marked or flagged or whatever for a lengthy time.
Which we got a number of roads rerouted right now. So,
Yes.
Two other counties. So.
I see part of grants.
That's not, yeah, we can remove that. So the total would be the $113,892.40.
I assume Marcus agreed that the funds are there and we can.
Yes. This will come out of the sales tax dollars for road and bridge projects.
I'd go ahead and make the motion that we approve this proposal from Vance Brothers on the resurfacing for the amount of $113,892.40.
So moved. Go ahead. I'll second that. I don't second very many. All right. We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Good to go. When will they start that?
Not till June.
Okay.
So they're doing some other work in the area and then they'll come back over here.
Thank you. Consideration, next item on the agenda is to consider the purchase of chemicals for noxious weed department. I haven't actually reviewed this. Give me just a moment.
While Kenny's looking that up, might be worthy to point out, Martin is in charge of that department as well as Road and Bridge. So that was something where we had an opportunity to combine two positions and, you know, you look for ways you can save, and every little bit, regardless if it's small or if it's more of an identical number you can identify easier. That's something where it's a savings.
Exactly.
And to do that, he had to go through some additional testing to be aware of the types of noxious weeds and the chemicals. And we had the working knowledge already to a certain degree.
Right. To get his certification, you're
Mhm.
absolutely correct. And then additionally, other staff members in the Public Works Department are taking those classes as well. So they'll become applicators, and then instead of just relying on one spray operator. So that will help. So if somebody's out or we've got them on another job, somebody else can fill in and do that. So, but the other part is, instead of buying in small bits and pieces here, we'd like to go ahead and purchase in bulk as much as we can. And that's where he reached out, or had Sarah reach out to a couple different vendors to purchase the chemicals. And they, these are the two that came back from Van Deesten from Nutrient Solutions.
What received after deadline? Who is that?
I believe that.
Oh, Nutrient
Nutrients,
Solutions.
yes, yes.
There were 9,000
Mhm.
and Van Dees was at 89.65, correct?
The recommendation would be the Van Dees.
Not much, but saved a little.
Mhm.
Commissioners here haven't heard that. I would suggest we motion to accept Van D Supply Company's bid for noxious chemicals for the noxious weed department
The amount.
of $8,965.88.
I'll second that.
We have a motion, we have a second. I didn't actually say a motion, but I motioned it.
Okay.
Can we do it in arrears?
I thought you meant it as motion.
It was my intent, sorry. Seconded motion, any more discussion, commissioners?
Just a little bit of discussion here. It's noxious weeds. So most of them I'm seeing not too noxious. They're pretty darn growing.
Yes, they are.
Not noxious at all.
And they are out Spring Township, but, right.
All right, I'm good with that.
I will say something before I call for the vote. I have more thistles than I've ever had. I think it's gonna be bad this year.
I think so,
I don't know what happened. It's rain maybe, I don't know, but man, I've pulled probably 355-gallon bags of thistles so far, so. I know. We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries to accept Van D Supply Company bid.
Yeah.
Okay. Next order of business, I think I got it, is the memorandum of understanding with the city of Abilene. What this is an update to the old MOU that we had with them. Commissioners, if you've had time to review that, I have had time to review it. I had one question and study about net 30, which isn't really a question at all. So other than that, I thought it looked pretty good. As you know, for the public, we allow the city of Abilene to use our fuel down at the county, what do we call that?
County yards.
County yard. We charge them a 10-cent administrative fee to do that. It works out best for everybody. We can buy more fuel, we can get it cheaper, they can get it cheaper. It's a good win for everybody. Any more discussion on this before we motion? Okay. have a motion to approve the new memorandum of understanding with the city of Abilene on fuel usage.
Second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. I do have a draft here. Do you need me to sign?
I think there's a original in being signed.
Yeah, I signed it. Checked it.
Perfect. All right, last
And
one.
that's one of the land transfer. Okay.
Right here. Last order of business today is to appoint Paul Freilich to the 911 Advisory Board. I don't think I need to introduce Paul to everyone. Paul's a great member of our community that helps out in a lot of ways. From what I've been told and been educated on, his usefulness on that board, he gets a wide range of opinions, anywhere from law enforcement to firefighters to dispatch. I think that's what needs to be on the board. I think commissioners would agree, but just to give a little background, he is are you retired technically or no?
I am a retired papers employee, working at assistant funeral director at the Overlease group of funeral homes.
Where I'm going there is you have vast experience in firefighting. You've been doing this for more than, I think, 30 something years. So
44.
44 years.
And actually, you were on the Chapman tornado, what was the position?
The incident commander for both the Chapman and then the May 25th years ago here, those tornadoes.
And probably most are familiar a little bit how that works, but I mean, he was the first responsible person that was not, everybody had everything to do at once and someone has to take charge, and Paul stepped up and helped coordinate things.
The quote that was on the radio that night.
Oh.
You stop and think, Chapman's chief of police's house was destroyed, their city fire chief's house was destroyed. We get into town, dispatch says, who is in command? And my quote was, for the lack of anyone willing and able. And I said, little did I know that was gonna be a month and a half.
Yes.
Long process over there. But then, when that May one that went from Ottawa County to Erie County line across our county, James was on the radio and I said, what do you want? He says, take command of it. And that was actually an honor to get to do that. And there again, you talk about the plus to that. We learned so many lessons from Greensburg and all these other places that we were able to implement those. And to have, in the 24-hour period, Dickinson County did not have a debris disposal plant. And to have that in the back scenes here at the courthouse, write that plan that was that big. I would hot footed it to Topeka for approval. And to be able to get the back, behind the scenes stuff done so we can start clearing debris out of chat. I liken it to being a fire director. Once you go on an incident that big, you've got all these different, your hierarchy on the command structure working. It was just a classic example of how it's supposed to be.
That's true.
And it wasn't that I did anything great. I had a lot of people that I was just kind of bringing together.
But I do appreciate your breadth of knowledge, that you understand the first responder side, the law enforcement side, the community member side of it. And so right person at the right time. But that's important for this board, that we have someone experienced that knows how to work with all the groups.
Mhm. Yeah. You're valuable. I'm sorry, I said that backwards. Your knowledge is invaluable. So I think it's kind of a no-brainer to get you on the advisory board if you're willing to do it.
Yeah.
So you're getting paid for this, but thank you.
My dad once said, experience trumps knowledge any day of the week. And I think you got a wide range of experience that's like invaluable, as I said. So thank you, Paul.
I move that we appoint Paul to that position, Franklin.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Congratulations, Paul. With that being said, I believe we have no other county business for today. Unless you guys have anything else. A motion to adjourn.
Second.
We are adjourned. Thank you all.
Paul, are you buying lunch for all of us since we saw these nice things about?
Symmetry.